Hi guys, welcome back to Homemade in Stacy's Kitchen. Tonight I am making salted chocolate caramel bars. These are ones that I've made, my family likes them. People like them when I bring them to, gatherings, potlucks, whatever I have made them for. And they always go over well. So, this is what I'm going to start with first. So I have my pan grease. I'm going to preheat my oven to 350. So that's preheating. Okay, and then in a bowl here, I'm going to measure my, let's see. I've got flour and brown sugar here. So I'm going to start with, what do we got here? 1.5 cups of flour. There's a cup, half a cup. Okay, so I got that measured. And then 1 1/4 cups of brown sugar. Thank goodness for having several sets of measuring cups, because I already used some measuring cups today. So I'm using my clean hands that are very clean actually, and I'm measuring out a packed cup of brown sugar and then 1/4 of a cup. So here's that. Okay. Rinse my hands off, the brown sugar off of them. These are so easy and so yummy. They are impeccably good. Here it is. I got my sea salt. Okay. So I got that in the bowl. I hope I got a big enough bowl. Rinse my hands off again after I touch it. Open the garbage. Nobody wants to see that on video. My family wouldn't want to know that either if I was making these for them. But anyway, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So I'll get out my salt. Right in front of my face. Okay. Measure that in here. These are so good. So easy. They are just yummy. 1.5 cups of oatmeal. I'm going to use these, so I'll set them back here. So I'm going to grab my oatmeal real quick. Throw my flour back. Here. Okay, so I have to grab another thing of oats in here. Now, this first batch was quick oats. I don't have enough, so I'm going to use the old-fashioned oats for the other half a cup, but that's okay. Okay, so, and you can use either one. I usually prefer the quick oats, but you can use old-fashioned oats if that's what you have. They work fine because I've done it before if I didn't have the quick oats. So, okay, this bowl is too small, so I'm going to grab my larger bowl. This bowl is not going to cut it. It's going to make a mess. Okay. Here we go. All right. So now I have room to stir it up. And once you stir this up, we can just set it aside because then we are going to, oh, I almost forgot baking soda. Okay, so 3/4 of a teaspoon. 1, 2, there. That would be 3/4 of a teaspoon. Now over here, I have, I'm going to melt a cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, in a pan, which I'm going to pour into that dry mixture, because that melting that. My oven is ready. If I was a little smarter, I would leave the garbage can open so that I wouldn't have to touch it and then wash my hands every time I threw something away. However, I have a 4-legged canine here that would get right in the garbage and eat whatever's in there. So maybe it's wise I don't. So I'm mixing this all up. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just waiting for the butter. And so once you pour in the butter into here and mix it all in, then that makes the bottom crust and also the topping. And it's really good. Okay, this is already melting very well. And then into I have another little pan here with caramels that I've unwrapped. Now I just bought caramels from the store, but I mean you could make caramel and put it in the middle. And if I had more time I would. And it's just 11 ounces of caramels. And then 8 tablespoons of either milk or cream. Either one works just fine. I've done, I usually do milk, but I believe I have done cream. Excuse that interruption. Okay. My butter's almost melted. Yeah, it is. So what? So, just see this here. Oh, it's almost completely melted. That's pretty fast. So, not anymore either. And what's not good with brown sugar and butter? I mean, come on. I think that is all melted. Let me just double check. Sure is. Okay, so I'm going to pour my melted butter right into here. I'm going to grab out a spatula and get out every bit of that wonderful butter, because that's what makes the mixture come together. Now, you could use margarine if you don't have butter or don't like butter. I always use real butter, but you know, it would still work if you use margarine. Or you could even use coconut oil if you wanted to go that route. That would be fine too. And if you wanted to make them more keto friendly, you could use almond flour instead of the regular flour. Use a brown sugar like stevia or one of those type of sorbet type of brown sugar substitutes. They're really good. But then you'd want to get like a Lily's or one of those kind of keto chocolate chips if you're going to go that way. But you certainly could make them keto. Oh, this is coming together so nice. This is going to be great. And I'm just using a fork. I mean, because why dirty anything else when this works just fine and everything's coming together, so. Okay. And I'm going to get some in the bottom of the pan, and you want to reserve 2/3 of a cup for the top. In the middle has melted, well, it has chocolate chips and then melted caramel over the chocolate chips and then more of this topping. Oh. Now, if you wanted to, it's not in the recipe, but you know, I've done things like this before with recipes. You could add some chopped pecans, chopped walnuts, chopped, you know, almonds, whatever. I would, if you're going to add nuts, I would do either pecans or walnuts. But you could add, you know, some of those in the middle or into this crust. It's not in the recipe, so I would just throw in like a handful or so, but like a handful or two. But I've never done it, but you certainly could, and I'm sure it'd be great too. Okay, so let's see how this is. And then you're gonna push this crust down in the bottom of the pan. There's not a whole lot of steps to these, which makes them go quickly. They come together together pretty fast. They just have to bake in the oven a couple times, but not very long each time either. After you press this down, this crust goes in the oven for 10 minutes. Then it comes back out. You put the rest of that on there, and then it bakes for another 15, and that's it. And then while this crust is baking, you can melt your caramels. Okay, that's pressed down nicely. So now, see how nice that is? Now into the oven it goes for 10 minutes. Turn this down a little bit. Set my timer for 10 minutes. And while that's going, I'm going to start melting my caramels. And it's just a bag of chocolate chips. It doesn't say milk chocolate chips or semi-sweet. You could do semi-sweet. I've always done milk, but either it's just fine. You know, semi-sweet might cut some of the sweetness of the, you know, brown sugar and the crust and topping and the caramels, but either way is fine. You can use whatever brand. Right now I have Ghirardelli, but I mean, I've used the store that I'm at. I bought their brand. I bought, you know, whatever brand, and I've used it, and they all work fine. Now they even sell dark chocolate chips, not even just semi-sweet, but dark. You could use those too, really. So that's set aside. Put that away. Put that in here. I'm gonna get out a little. Let me get this out to set the pan on when it comes out of the oven. I'm gonna get a spoon here and stir my caramels so that they don't burn, because I certainly don't want that. Mom! My daughter's yelling at me because she's watching the football game and I'm not. Yes.
No, I'm watching The Wild.
What?
I'm watching The Wild.
Oh, she's watching hockey.
And The Wild have a winning streak right now.
Yes, they do.
A 4-game winning streak.
Yes.
I want them to win today so we can keep that winning streak going. Don't you?
Yes.
Which I know we're going to win.
These are melting fast too. This is melting really fast, and I'm stirring it constantly because I don't want the caramel to burn on the bottom. I don't want the milk to scorch, so I'm just constantly stirring until it gets smooth, and then I'll take it off the heat. I'm using caramels that I've not used before, but I'm sure they'll be just fine. I usually buy like Kraft caramels that are wrapped, and I use them, but all the stores were out, so I got Werther's, but you could use any kind of caramels that are wrapped as long as it's 11 ounces. Or like I said, you could make caramel. And I've made caramels before, but I've never used homemade caramels in these. I just kind of take the lazy way, the short way of buying caramels for these bars, but I mean, you certainly could, and that would be really good, I'm sure, because homemade caramels are absolutely amazing. This is already melted, so I'm going to take this off the heat. Yeah. So I'm going to set my pan here. I've also got sea salt, which I'm gonna sprinkle on too. $6 left till they come out. And I have lots of different bar recipes from fruit bars to chocolate caramel bars to, you know, different like raspberry bars and lemon bars and key lime pie bars and blackberry pie bars and almond bars. Oh, I've got so many different bar recipes, but this is one I've made so many times. And I've never had anybody not like them. Usually when I make them for something, they're gone. There's not any left at the end. So, but I've made, like I said, I've made lots of different bars. I like, you know, I like to try different recipes and different, sometimes I like to add different things too and make my own twist on them or just try different things. But yeah. And I often, not always, but I often tweak, you know, a recipe and add my own twists, you know. Not that you have to, but I do quite often. And there's some things that I measure exactly, and some things I just do a pinch or a dab.
Mom!
Yes.
Mom!
What? Yes.
Mom!
Yes.
It's 1-0 Wild.
Good. She's notifying me on these hockey scores. So here's our lovely melted caramel. I'm not going to take the bowl like that, but here it is, as you can see. Nice and smooth. Get my bag of chocolate chips open, because then I'll probably keep this here. Actually, you know what? I do have some chopped almonds, so I'm going to chop them a little finer. Put these right on here. I'll move this out of the way. So I've got these, and I'm just going to I am going to put some in here. I think it'll. Can you hear my cat? She's got to give her opinion. My almost 22-year-old cat, who is still very much alive and well, somehow. I didn't know they could live that long, but she has. Okay. That's good. You can sprinkle those on as well once it comes out. Set that there. 2 minutes left. So almost time for them to come out. Oh, a minute left, okay. So I'm gonna grab these to take them out with. I used to have what were called like gloves or actual oven gloves. But one got burned up
Mom!
and one got chewed up.
Mom!
Yes,
It's 2-0 Wild.
great.
They got a power play goal.
So 30 seconds here. Okay, so here they are. Take this crust out, okay? And then we're gonna pour over our chocolate chips. Kind of spread them out. It's hot, but you can still spread them a little. Okay, then we're gonna pour the caramel over the top. And I'm gonna need another spatula for that. Scrape it off the spoon to begin with. Set that there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there's that. Set that over there. Then I'm going to sprinkle these on. There we go. There's a bunch spilled on the counter, but that's okay. Okay, then it's time to drop on the rest of the topping. Just like so. What was also the crust. These bars are so good, they're almost sinful. They really are. Okay. There. These have to go back in the oven, but I'll show you what they look like. And then I'm going to put them in the oven for 15 more minutes. This is what it looks like when it's all together. So yummy. So 15 more minutes. Okay, and then I will show you the end result when they're done, so you don't have to sit there and wait to see that. I missed some chocolate chips. What's wrong with me? Oh, and then at the end, when they come out, you just sprinkle on a little sea salt, and that's it. right away when they come out before they've had a chance to cool and set. So I will show you that. I will be back after a bit once they are done, and I'll show you the end result. Okay guys, so I'm back. And just took the bars out of the oven. They look amazing. And I'm just sprinkling some sea salt on top. Just a little sprinkle. That's it. And here is our finished bars. I can't taste one right now, but you have no idea how wonderful they smell. They smell amazing. It smells so good in my kitchen right now. Because I have to let them cool completely. You let them cool completely before you try to cut them, because they're a gooey mess right now. But that is it. That is my sea salt chocolate caramel bars. I thank you so much for watching my video, and if you liked the video at all, please hit the notifications, hit that subscribe button, and give me a like. And you'll see me in future videos. And I hope you guys all have a great day. And adios. Bye, guys.